The orange light of sunset bled across the hardwood floor of the rented apartment. Silas adjusted the angle of his phone. The screen's glow the only illumination in the deepening dusk. He could feel the familiar pre-show tension in his shoulders. A soft click and he was live. He moved, the rhythm a physical pulse in the quiet room. The black lace shirt was new, a calculated purchase. In the corner of the screen, the comments scrolled, a cascade of emojis and demands from usernames he'd come to recognize. It was a transaction, plain and simple. They wanted a performance. He needed the money. He'd started with real dance, choreography born from years of discipline. The views were pathetic. A regular had messaged him privately, her advice blunt. You have to give them something to look at. The internet doesn't reward subtlety. So he'd swapped his long sleeves for the tight black tank. That night, 2,000 strangers watched him, digital gifs blooming on his screen like feverish flowers. He never showed his face. The sleek, featureless mask was his shield. Bending to switch the playlist, he glanced up and froze. The screen glitched, stuttering, then erupted in a continuous, blinding cascade of the platform's most expensive gift effect. 10 of them. His breath hitched behind the mask. Thank you, he managed, voice smooth with practiced gratitude. Thank you so much. Sir? The donor's profile was male. A flicker of unease. His content was tailored for a specific gaze, a female one. But money was money. He was everyone's entertainer. What would you like to see, He asked the silent, generous username twice. No response. He filled the quiet with motion, falling back into the dance. Much later, as the stream wound down, a line of text finally appeared. Let's see those abs. By the end of the night, S had tipped over $2,000, securing the top spot on his supporter list. Offline, in the sudden silence of his apartment, Silas studied the profile. A generic sky photo. Age 20. Location hidden. A new account with no history. Wealthy and anonymous. As he wondered how to engage this mysterious patron, a direct message blinked into existence. Can I get your number? The directness was a shock. A cold prickle of caution ran down his spine. He'd created a separate line for this very reason, a buffer between his performance and his life. He gave the number, the one attached to the cheap burner phone. The contact that popped up in his messaging app made his heart slam against his ribs. Elliot Shaw. The name was a punch to the gut. Elliot lived in the apartment next door in their converted brownstone. Elliot Shaw, the physics department's untouchable prodigy, the guy who made complex theorems look like child's play, who collected academic prizes like other people collected coffee shop stamps. That Elliot Shaw was spending his scholarship money watching masked men dance online? A hot, bitter laugh escaped him. Silas had always existed in Elliot's long, cool shadow, perpetually the runner-up, the almost was. And now, the money he'd lost to Elliot in prestige was filtering back into his bank account. The irony was exquisite. His fingers flew over the screen of the burner, sending a coy, winking emoji. The persona was automatic. Elliot didn't reply. A moment later, Silas heard the distinct sound of the neighboring apartment door closing. Then, a message appeared. Sorry, was walking. Didn't see this. Silas smirked. Walking, sure. Probably terrified someone would see him texting his favorite internet dancer. He typed back, the words sugary and false. I'd wait for you anytime. Are you this friendly with all your viewers? Elliot asked. Only for the cute ones, Silas replied. I saw your profile picture. Which one was me? Silas faltered, quickly pulling up Elliot's social media. There was only one post, a group shot of the university's debate team. He'd never paid it any mind. The handsome one, obviously, he typed, a slick evasion. He swiftly changed the subject, laying on the charm, promising special attention, weaving a tale of a tight schedule that somehow always had room for a generous supporter like S. He mentioned his roommates were out most evenings, which was true, giving him the privacy he needed. He'd even weather-stripped his door to keep the music contained. For over a month, Elliot was a constant, tipping 4 figures a week, chatting after each stream. Silas perfected his online persona. Flirtatious, needy, crafting a fictional life of medical debt and family strife. Elliot responded not just with tips, but with direct transfers. The transaction was seamless. One evening, trapped in his apartment because his roommates were home unexpectedly, Silas had to postpone his stream. He sent a private message to S. Got family over tonight. Can't stream at home. Gonna get a hotel room. The reply was instantaneous. $1,000 transfer. No words, just covering the cost. A giddy, dangerous feeling bubbled in Silas's chest. This was too easy. Head down, texting a fawning "you're the best." He shouldered his gear bag and yanked open his apartment door, colliding hard with someone. He looked up. Elliot Shaw stared back, his expression unreadable. Silas's heart stopped, then rabbit. He fumbled, locking his phone screen. Sorry, wasn't looking. It's fine, Elliot said, his voice level. His gaze dropped to the large black bag slung over Silas's shoulder. Panic tightened Silas's throat. The bag held the deeply cut tank top Elliot had requested for that night's show. Just heading out, he mumbled, pitching his voice higher, unfamiliar. Elliot merely nodded, turning to unlock his own door. Silas fled to a budget hotel 2 blocks away. He set up in a hurry, forgetting in his haste to disable the location tag on his streaming app. The stream went live. Elliot entered with his usual fanfare. Welcome, S. Little change of venue tonight, Silas chirped, the mask stifling. A comment popped up. That neckline is practically a belt. Then, a private message from Elliot. Change the shirt. The commanding tone irked him. Thankfully, he'd packed a backup. A simple white knit sweater. He switched. From the front, it was modest. The back was entirely open. The comments exploded. Elliot sent another message. I'm 10 minutes away by rideshare. 10 minutes? Silas's blood ran cold. He checked his settings. The location tag was on, broadcasting the hotel's general area. Sorry, folks, tech issue. He stammered, ending the stream abruptly. As he frantically toggled settings off, Elliot's final message arrived. I'm in the hotel lobby. Come down. Silas crept to the window, peering through the blinds. Under a street lamp, wearing a white button-down, stood Elliot, looking up. This was a disaster. Meeting him would unravel everything. He had to make Elliot leave. He typed, his fingers clumsy with fear. Sorry, S. Can't. My boyfriend's on his way over. Bad timing. There was a long pause. Then a voice message came through. Elliot's voice, low and threaded with something dark, filled his ears. You have a boyfriend? The sound was intimacy itself, a violation. Silas's stomach twisted with a strange, acute loss. The money. He was going to lose the money. Yes, he typed, miserable. Sorry for not mentioning it before. Another voice message. Does he know you talk to me every night? Send me those pictures? They're just gym pics, Silas fired back, face burning. Don't call them that. He restarted the stream, triple-checking his location was hidden. To his shock, Elliot rejoined. He didn't comment, didn't rage. He just watched, sending the occasional, smaller gift. Silas's thanks sounded hollow to his own ears. Afterwards, exhausted and hungry, he ordered delivery. The hotel's robot was out of service. The front desk asked him to come down. He hesitated at the door. He was still in the open-back sweater, but changing now seemed absurd. It was just an elevator ride. He retrieved his food and turned toward the elevators. Silas, the voice, cool and familiar, froze him mid-step. Elliot. He hadn't left. The elevator doors slid open. Silas lunged inside, jamming the close button. A hand shot out, stopping them. Elliot stepped in, the space suddenly too small. Fancy meeting you here, Silas squeaked. backing into the corner. Elliot's eyes traveled over him, lingering on the exposed skin of his back. A faint, unreadable smile touched his lips. Forgot to say earlier, this is better than the tank top. The lines of your back are exceptional. I don't know what you're talking about, Silas whispered, his skin prickling. Don't you? Elliot plucked the burner phone from Silas's limp hand and dialed his own number. The muffled ringtone sang from Silas's pocket. He closed his eyes, defeated. I'll give the money back. Half of it. The platform takes a cut. I won't tell anyone your tastes. Just leave me alone. Elliot took a step closer, bracing his hands on the elevator walls, caging him in. His breath stirred the hair at Silas's temple. Where's this boyfriend of yours? I'd like to meet him. He'll be here any minute. Don't. Elliot's smile vanished. He tilted his head, studying Silas. He doesn't mind you doing this? Of course not. It's my thing. He's supportive. Is he? Elliot seemed to consider this. Here's a proposal. Stream privately for me. Video calls. 20,000 a month. Y prefera solo audience. The number was a physical blow. What? Are you insane? Is it? I'm paying for a service. A specific one. The sheer, warped logic of it left Silas speechless. This was the mind that solved quantum puzzles. Need to check with your boyfriend? Elliot pressed, a hard edge in his voice. I'd have to talk to him. Elliot scoffed, dropping his hands. Silas could breathe again. I'll wait with you. Explain it to him myself. No. Panic was a sharp taste in his mouth. Fine. I'll do it. But no one can know. Not even him. Elliot held his gaze for a long moment. Deal. Silas posted an indefinite hiatus notice, blaming a demanding partner. The night of their first private session, anxiety churned in his gut. He was staring at a pile of clothes, paralyzed, when a knock came at his apartment door. Silas. It's time. Elliot's voice, through the wood. Silas nearly jumped out of his skin. He was 3 minutes late. Just a sec. Don't. Just wait there. He threw on a shirt and sent the video call request. Elliot's face filled the screen, a brutal kind of beauty. Why the mask? Elliot asked, tone flat. I know what you look like. I need it. I can't perform without it. Elliot made a dismissive sound. Fine. Start. It was painfully awkward. The silence was a vacuum. Elliot, seemingly bored, sent 3 cash transfers in quick succession. The sudden influx sparked the old, performative energy. Thank you, S. What would you like to see? The tank top. From the hotel. I thought you hated that one. I hated other people seeing it. Silas changed, feeling exposed. He'd barely begun when Elliot spoke again. Your jeans are practically at your ribs. Uncomfortable? This isn't a free-for-all, Silas snapped. Isn't that the definition of what you do? Elliot's voice was a low tease. Walk the line? As the music played, Silas heard a soft, strained sound from Elliot's end. He glanced at the screen. Elliot had removed his button-down. He wore a tight-fitting athletic shirt, the fabric straining over defined muscle Silas never knew he had. His right arm was tense, his shoulder shifting slightly. What are you doing with your hand? Silas blurted. Elliot's eyes never left the screen. Exercising. Keeping rhythm. What kind of exercise? With a dark chuckle, Elliot moved the camera, pointing it downward briefly. He was squeezing a hand grip exerciser, his knuckles white. Silas yelped, covering his eyes. You're insane, you asked. The camera was righted. Want to know why I use this? When I squeeze, I imagine it's a certain part of you. Makes watching feel more immersive. The 2 hours were agony. The second it ended, another knock came at his door. It was Elliot leaning casually against the frame. You scared me. Thought my roommate was back. You're that ashamed? Elliot mused. It's weird. What do you want? Used to call me S all the time. Now you've got my money, the attitude changes. Elliot's gaze was intense. Just wanted to see the face behind the mask. Next time, no mask. Or I stop the transfers. He turned to leave, then paused. Will you call your boyfriend tonight? The question here in his hallway was ludicrous. Are you trying to get me hate-crimed? Silas hissed, clapping a hand over Elliot's mouth. Elliot didn't flinch. He raised his hands in surrender, his eyes crinkling with amusement. As Silas pulled his hand away, wary, Elliot's mood seemed to shift. Seems this boyfriend isn't much to show off. You won't even give him a label. That's none of your business. You pay, I perform. That's it. Respect the work, not the worker. Elliot's smile died. He said nothing, turning just as Silas's roommates' voices echoed up the stairwell. Silas looked down and realized with horror he grabbed his roommate Leo's hoodie in his panic. Leo bounded over, grinning. He, man, brought you those chili lime fries you like. Eloy was staring at Leo, his gaze analytical and cold. Leo, oblivious, beamed. Later that night, a message arrived from Elliot. This Leo, isn't it? Silas denied it immediately, but the damage was done. The next day in class, Elliot sat in the back watching him. A notice for a lucrative inter-college economic simulation went up. Leo suggested they team up, but they needed a third. Silas's eyes drifted against his will to the back of the room. Before he could dismiss the thought, Leo was already there, talking to Elliot. To Silas's stunned disbelief, Elliot agreed. To celebrate, Leo took them to a burger joint. After a trip to the restroom, Silas found his chair had been borrowed by another table. Elliot gestured to the seat beside him. Don't mind, do you? Silas sat, hyper-aware of Elliot's arm resting on the back of his chair. When Leo offered his phone for Elliot to add to the order, Elliot declined. Silas and I have similar taste. He likes the jalapeno poppers and the sweet potato fries. Leo blinked. You two have eaten together before? No, Elliot said smoothly. But we talk. He's mentioned it. Silas kicked him under the table. You guys are close now? Leo asked, puzzled. This semester, Elliot said, his voice even. Sometimes people living right next to each other have secrets. Silas fumbled, dropping his chopsticks. Before Leo could react, Elliot broke his own pair and handed them over, fetching a new set from the side. So clumsy, he murmured, too low for Leo to hear. The rest of the meal was a blur of tense collaboration talk. Back home, Leo asked, when did you and Elliot get so tight? You used to rant about him beating your GPA. We talk. Study sometimes. It's not a big deal. Leo frowned. Just seems weird. He's so closed off. But tonight he was almost attentive. The observation lodged in Silas's chest. Why was Elliot performing for Leo? To test a theory? The only theory was that Elliot thought Leo was the fictional boyfriend. But why did he care? Unless the thought was terrifying and exhilarating. Elliot's preferences were no mystery. What straight guy spent that much on a male dancer? The next private session was a disaster. Without the mask, Silas felt naked. He kept missing cues. Elliot watched from his desk. The mask was that much of a security blanket? He leaned forward. Let's do something else. I'll give you instructions. A game. You follow, you get a bonus. Dread coiled in Silas's stomach. Or Elliot continued, his voice dropping. You let me come over and watch in person. The bonus doubles. The offer, and the look in Elliot's eyes, was a siren song. Silas, mesmerized and foolish, agreed. When Elliot arrived, he was holding a folded white shirt. Wear this. That's yours. And? I'm not wearing your clothes. You wore Leo's. That was an accident. Elliot's smile widened. Doesn't matter. I want to see it. Consider it a tier reward. Trapped, Silas changed in the bathroom. The shirt smelled like Elliot's laundry detergent, clean and sharp. Being wrapped in his scent felt dangerously intimate. What's the move? Silas asked, voice tight. Come here. Elliot sat on Silas's desk chair, stretching his long legs out. Sit. On your lap? No, that's too much. Elliot spread his hands. Just sitting. I won't bite. Unless you want me to. The blatant, calm audacity was staggering. Elliot, I have a boyfriend. So? He countered, his gaze steady. He won't know. And you agreed to this. You wanted the bonus. The words landed like a physical blow. In Elliot's eyes, he was a cheating sellout, a commodity. The realization filled his chest with a dull, heavy ache. This was all just a twisted transaction. The fantasy he'd barely let himself acknowledge shattered. He pulled off the borrowed shirt and tossed it back. We're done. I'll refund everything. Keep the last payment. Elliot's face went still. What? I don't want to do this anymore. Is he making you stop? It has nothing to do with him. I'm done. Go back to being my neighbor. My classmate. That's all. Elliot stood, the shirt clenched in his fist. You can't just return the money and walk away. You don't get to do that. He stepped closer, his usual composure cracking. I don't want to be your classmate, Silas. I want to be the secret you keep. Is that not obvious? Silas's mind blanked. I don't know what you have with this guy. Elliot continued, his voice rising with a raw frustration Silas had never heard. But if you really loved him, you wouldn't let strangers see you like that. You wouldn't let me see you. I would never have let you go to some hotel alone. What if it hadn't been me that night? What if it was someone who wanted to hurt you? He was pacing now, the words pouring out. And if you actually cared about him, why would you hide our arrangement? You'd tell him. My feelings for you aren't a secret, Silas. From the first stream, I knew it was you. The shape of your throat, that mole above your collarbone. I memorized you.
I'm pathetic.
I know I am. Talking to you felt like stealing something. But I didn't know how else to get close. Stop, Silas whispered. But the plea was weak. Elliot halted in front of him. Are you going to reject me? The only way I could think to have any part of you was to buy your time. I didn't plan to fall this far. Silas reached out, not to push him away, but to gently cover his mouth. Elliot went still, his eyes wide. I need to tell you something, Silas said softly, removing his hand. Elite. I'm single. The silence was absolute. Elliot's relentless momentum vanished. So Silas ventured, his own heart hammering. Did you just want to be the secret? Or were you applying for the full-time position? For a second, Elliot didn't move. Then his hand came up, cupping the back of Silas's neck, and he kissed him. It was decisive, deep, and left them both breathless. Little liar, Elliot murmured against his lips. What else? I don't have a sick sister, but my parents are divorced. My mom. She passed last year. Elliot stiffened, then pulled him into a tight embrace. I wish you were lying about that too, he muttered into his hair. But it's okay. You can have a new family. If you want. They fell into a routine, studying for the simulation with Leo, who noticed nothing. Elliot hinted for weeks about a real date. Finally, Silas agreed to a Saturday movie and a discreet night at a boutique hotel. As they left their building, gear bag in hand, they ran into Leo in the lobby. Where you guys off to? Movies, Elliot said. Leo's eyes landed on Silas's bag. Hey, you only take that duffel when you're not coming back. We're not, Silas said. You're seeing a double feature? Leo asked, incredulous. Elliot chuckled softly, then leaned over and pressed a quick kiss to Silas's cheek. Leo made a strangled noise. Dude, personal space. Silas felt his face flame. Elliot, seeing Leo still hadn't connected the dots, took Silas's face in his hands and kissed him properly. When they parted, Leo was staring, mouth open. Oh, so that's wow. Okay, you guys have fun. Be safe. I mean, congrats. Just go. They walked out into the evening. Glancing back, Silas saw Leo still rooted to the spot, muttering to himself, a slow, bewildered smile spreading across his face. They were neighbors this whole time? How did I miss that?